Okay, welcome everybody. We are in the next close look, and this one's gonna be about Elder Titan in Dota 1 known as a Tauren Chieftan. Myself, I wasn't really expecting this hero to be released that soon after the Skywave made, because if you remember, they released a lot of heroes to the CM pool that weren't there previously, of course in preparation to the International, so all the players can train with these heroes, can train against them, and kinda get the idea what to play with them. But I was thinking, with a lot of heroes released to the CM pool, they're gonna be focusing on them, fixing them glitch-wise, mechanical-wise, but here we go. We have Elder Titan released. If they want to rush us with the heroes, I'm all for it. So, first of all, I kept Elder Titan at level 1 to kind of show you that his basic stats are very good. 758 HP with basic items like 2 gauntlets, for example making Urn, and 2 iron branches. That's a very basic build, maybe going into the bottle when I would go mid. With these items, I can get very good stats. Basic stats are amazing with this hero. Damage-wise, animation, everything is very cool. Of course, you are a melee hero, so that's kind of against it, but still. Everything else is amazing. The problem is, or problem becoming with the stat gain. When you are leveling, the stat gain is not so amazing as the basic stats are. So you'll be kind of lacking the mana. So we're gonna kind of discuss that with the item build, what to kind of do on certain lanes. Plus, I'm gonna be playing this hero, of course, Friday morning, and maybe even streaming him Friday evening. So you can kind of watch what I'm gonna be building then. So let's level him up, and let's start a close look with the spells, as always. That's the basic. Actually, I need to level up myself, not bots. There we go. I'm just quickly level up everything, even the stats, so we can have some certain mana pool. Alright, so first two things of yours, the most important ones in the beginning, and the first thing that you want to level up is Ancestral Spirit. And that works perfectly with your next thing, which is the Echo Stomp, which is a stun. As you can see, cooldown-wise, we have 15 seconds for Echo Stomp, and 16 seconds for Ancestral Spirit. So at level 7, you want this to be level 4, okay, the Ancestral Spirit. It's a great ability. It's basically nuke that has area effect. So you're gonna cast it on a clump of heroes or creeps. It works against creeps and heroes at the same time, and it's basically gonna damage them, and he's gonna be there for 8 seconds. So the duration of the guy, the spirit, is gonna be 8 seconds. So again, clump of the enemies, I'm gonna cast it, damaging them in some radius. This guy has 3 spells that you have 2, or 2 spells and 1 ability to go back. So he has the Echo Stomp, and he has the Natural Order, which is the passive of the Elder Titan. So you're gonna cast this, the guy's gonna be hanging there for 8 seconds. Previously, you couldn't control the guy other than with your movement. So the guy would basically repeat what you are doing, but in the opposite way. So you go right, the guy would go left previously. You go back, he would go back too on the opposite direction. That was a big problem because ultimately it was pretty much uncontrollable. Right now you can actually control it. Also in Dota 2, because it's the same ID for every unit that you already had, you can select a group. So for example, he's group 2 right now, okay? And when I'm going to make a new one, he's going to be group 2. He's group 2, so I can move him immediately, just switching between groups, and there's no problem in that. So control-wise, it's much better in Dota 2 than in, of course, Dota 1. You can control the guy, which is definitely benefit for this hero. It was really silly to him basically mimicking oppositely your movements, which was kind of ridiculous. So that's what the Ancestral Spirit does. Decent damage, it's a magical damage, and also, if you hit creeps or heroes, it's gonna give you some benefits. So if you call him back, which is D or after 8 seconds, it's gonna give you damage, and it's gonna give you movement speed. So per creep, it's 1% of movement speed. Per hero is 5% movement speed per hero, of course. Bonus damage is 12, of course, on level 4 per creep, and 40 per hero. So your idea is, of course, to cast it as on the biggest clump that you can of the heroes, so you can damage them all and gain the biggest advantage you can get. This is a big thing because 40 of the damage is on level 7 of yours. That's level 4 of the Ancestral Spirit. So on level 4, if there's a teamfight going, you can cast it on them, call it back. You have plus 140, 160 damage immediately if you cast it correctly. Creeps 4 creeps, 5 creeps, plus 2 heroes. You have 140 damage plus. On level 7, nobody has that. You have 20 damage, which is very big deal. You can 3-4 hit the opponents like a support very easily. So that's your thing. It works as it is right now. It wouldn't be doing much, but it works in a perfect synergy as this hero does. That's kind of what the new heroes or newly released heroes are. They were much more focusing on everything together, synergies together. Usually the old heroes are kind of stun, passive, and big ulti. Here it's definitely more about all the synergies that you can get. Now, the Echo Stomp is your stun. there are two sources of damage. This around me is of physical damage. So it stuns with the physical damage. It should actually. Not really sure if they fixed it or not, but as you can see, it's still written there, Stomp's dealing physical damage. So it should be working, of course, with an X. Not a stun, just the damage, which is like 80, which it might have, but he has, hard and everything, so it just might be like just a visual problem. So there's the physical damage with his stun. The Ancestral Spirit does have the stun too. If you force a stun anywhere on him or on you, both of you gonna be stunning. This damage is magical. And also, as you can see, it does the stun, of course. The stun duration on level 4 is 5 seconds. So this is the second thing that you want to have level up. So on level 9, you're gonna have Echo Stomp level 4, Ancestral Spirit level 4, and your ulti +1. This is your perfect initiation and perfect combination of what you have in a team fight. The stun, as you can see, radius is ridiculous. So if I'm gonna cast it here, the radius basically covers the whole area here. That's pretty big. Usually you don't want to be there. So you don't want to get to the strategy like this. You don't want to be stunning at the melee range, because there's a lot of problem with this Echo Stomp. The casting time is 1.4 seconds. That is a lot. That a lot of heroes can't just avoid it. If you do this and you start casting, that can be magic immunity, BKB activation, and they can get away with it, and you basically are wasting your spell. So there's a lot of things that people can do against it, like avoid it, go for a magic immunity, or just stun you. If you actually stun me when I'm casting it, for example, let's go for a Malefice. I'm gonna position myself a little bit further. So I'm casting myself. The cooldown is used, so it's not like Nevermore that he can cast the ulti again. The cooldown is gonna be used, and there's gonna be no stuns, so that's slightly problematic. That's why you don't go in. You actually use mostly your Ancestral Spirit to go in and immediately cast a spell. That's the strategy. That's what you should be doing with this hero. You don't want to necessarily be in the action. For example, like, I don't know, Enigma wants to like jump in and black hole everybody. You necessarily don't want to do that. You want to keep your position kind of behind your allies, maybe even let somebody be initiated on, and then break the action with the stun, and then go in with everything that you have, kind of turning the actions. Also, 5 seconds of stun. That's kind of a thing that I didn't mention yet, how much it is. It's a lot. If you can catch like 3-4 people, you can catch the whole team. The area of the effect is really a lot, or very large. So you can definitely catch a whole team. It's not something that happens, occasionally. It's something that happens a lot of times with this hero. So very good initiation. These two things have similar cooldowns. You'll be able to spam them. The problem is the mana pool, but we're gonna talk about that with the item build. Now, also, the next synergy is Natural Order, which is your passive, the only passive that he's got, and this is gonna be that you'll be leveling this up after these two spells, usually. You can get different build, but usually it's good to have this at level 4 so you can have the 5 seconds. There's a difference between 3 seconds and 5 seconds. 5 seconds, it's ridiculous. It's unheard of, basically, with this area of effect. So the passive is around you. 275 radius, which basically I'm right now covering almost everybody. I should be covering everybody. Now the passive, what it does, it reduces the magic resistance and physical resistance. So every single resistance that the opponent has, physical, magical, it's going to be reducing, okay? So at this point, these guys have some items, some levels, but as you can see, physical resistance is 30%, there's like -8 armor, I would say, at this point, and magical resistance is 5%. Now, the good thing is that it works also with the synergy with like other additional items. So for example, if somebody has Assault Kiras, maybe even you, there's even more physical resistance. So everything with this hero works kind of in a synergy, and if you buy correct items, even the Wheel of Discord, it even kind of makes it stronger, makes your combination and your team fight stronger. So physical resistance works only on close range, but you have things to get to the close range. So this is the passive. That is what all it does. Physical and magical resistance in a close range. Of course, you need to get in, so that's why you use these combos, and then you use your ulti. Your ulti is the Earth Splitter, which I think is a pretty cool thing looking in Dota 2. Even Dota 1 it looked very cool. It's gonna be casting the Earth Splitter, magical ability actually. That's not literally just magical, that does physical damage and magical damage. It's same as this one with your and the image, so it's 50-50 I think. 50 magical damage and 50 physical damage. So even though somebody is in magic immunity in this, it's still gonna damage him in the physical source and still gonna pull him. The pull is not canceling channelings. It's pull like a Force Staff or Slark, you know, jump, or not necessarily a Slark jump. For example, like a Force Staff, let's say that. So if she's gonna be casting Black Hole, it's not gonna cancel the Black Hole, okay? So it's not gonna keep canceling any channelings. The Echo Stomp, of course, is. So if she's Black Holing, that's gonna be cancelled, of course. Which is a good thing, because you can still keep your distance. If Enigma jumps in and you are out of it, you can easily stun it with her team in it. So that's a very good thing. Now, of course, the damage is nice. There's a slow 50%, the damage is actually HP-wise. So max HP as a damage, these guys have like actually hearts, I gave them hearts, so let's see how much damage it does. That's not bad. That's not bad. Plus, if you can get some Wheel of Discord, maybe even she like goes for Black Hole. It's a lot of things that works for you. See, like those were like 2 big ultis, and these are people with heart with like 3,000 or almost 3,000 HP. Some of them. That's a big deal. So definitely great combination with things that you can buy, some allies. Your ulti definitely works perfectly. Of course, the basic initiation is this: cast this, stun immediately into the ulti, and then of course your team can follow it up. Now the thing is, this has more disadvantage also. So it's not just about team avoiding it, it's about your team playing correctly. So if somebody on your team does not know what the Echo Stomp does or how it works, it can be your doom. It can be just the doom of the whole action. So Echo Stomp, the stun duration is just based on them not receiving any damage. It's just hero and hero controlled unit based damage. So if it's me hitting the guy, I'm actually gonna recast him. So if I hit the guy, the stun is off, or the sleep duration is off. If the creep of Chen is gonna hit him, same thing. If a Nature's Prophet tree is gonna hit the same thing, for example, Enigma Eidolon is gonna hit somebody, same thing. Now the problem is with like bigger or area effect things as Radiance is. So for example, if there's a Lone Druid, he likes his Radiance, that's cool. If I'm gonna stun, and he's gonna rush that Lone Druid in, the stun is off. The first tick that does, after the Stomp, it's gonna cancel everybody's stun in that area. So this hero doesn't just work like I perfectly stunned them. It has to be your allies also understood what the spell does, so they doesn't it doesn't interfere with it with the stun. So usually you want your allies, if you are playing with a Elder Titan, you want him to cast first his Earth Split, and then like 2 seconds after go in, not before that. Okay, because that's a big deal if you cancel the stun, if you have Radiance. Of course, Radiance can be turned off, so you can just run there, turn it off, and then after the Earth Play you can turn it on. That's no big deal, but you have to think about this. Definitely, it's not just like, I play perfectly as Elder Titan, everything is great. It can be just that one guy that doesn't know what he's doing, and he's gonna cancel stun on 5 people. He's gonna free them, 5 people from stun, which is ridiculous as stunning 5 people, I think. So that is it about Elder Titan. Item-wise, you know, I would like to play him on the mid as much as I can, because as you can kind of get the idea on level 9, this initiation is ridiculous, okay? It's ridiculous initiation with a 5-second stun. So if you can get to level 9 as soon as possible, being, on the mid, or being even solo on a side lane against like one guy, not like 2, that's gonna be definitely difficult. I would like to play him on the mid, if there's a correct, setting. For example, like Night Stalker, Pudge, Magnus, heroes like that, I could be actually on the mid. On the side lanes, of course, your item build is gonna be different. Than on the mid, I would get, for example, Power Threats and Bottle. Just rush the Bottle back and forth with the Courier, so get me some mana regen. This is big damage, by the way, as I kind of explained in the beginning. It's a big damage, so you can, with some Bottle Crowing, you can control the lane very easily, I think, with this hero on the mid. The side lanes, maybe I would be thinking about Soul Ring, so you can kind of cast a stun, the preparation. If you have some stun, that works kind of a great, or Enigma later on, that works great too. So that's gonna be with the hero. I'm gonna be playing it Friday morning and probably streaming it Friday evening. I want to play as much as I can because I think this hero definitely requires some skill to learn. I haven't touched him in 1 year, so I definitely don't know all the timings well. But that's the basic idea. You just don't want to be in the team fight straight on. You want to be positioned. The best thing is if they are hunting somebody. So if they are hunting somebody, you can just cancel the action very fast. And then you can just turn the action on them very, very easily. Of course, as you could see, the Radiance right there. Cancel the stun. that can't really happen. So that's gonna be with the Elder Titan. Hopefully, I cannot gain, or so I give you the idea how this hero works. And also, I already told you Echo Stomp how it works, but it's not cancelled by creeps or towers. So just that's a big thing. Just the hero source of damage or hero controlled unit source of damage. So this, if they are on the tower and tower is hitting them, creeps are hitting them, 5 seconds can be actually kill on some certain hero, like a support that is just in a bad position on the tower. He can actually die just from that. So that's a pretty good thing. So that's gonna be it. Thank you for watching. This was Elder Titan. I'm gonna be playing him as soon as possible.